Warning, this program may contain visuals that might offend sensitive viewers. Parental guidance is advised.
This is an SABC News presentation.
Namhlanje kwi-Cutting Edge ukuhlukunyezwa kwabantu besifazane sekwaba insakavukela umchilo wesidwaba. Iningi labesifazane bafela ngaphakathi nabo lobuhlungu ngoba abazange belapheke ngokomphefumulo.
I don't know how they know that I'm the one, that they should go for.
Once you realize good landlord, get out of that relationship.
Umntu who is a perpetrator, no matter what position you hold in the society, you must be accountable for that.
Njengoba sesiphethe inyanga yabantu besifazane, okubuhlungu ukuthi abesifazane kanye nezingane babhekene nezinkinga ezehlukahlukene, ukuhlukunyezwa ngokocansi, ukushawa kanye nokunye. Kwesinye isikhathi bagcina ngaphakathi, kusale kuyimfihlo yabo nje bodwa vo, ngoba iningi labantu besifazane bafundiswa ukuthi mabazithobe, babekezele. uTapuwa ngowesimame waseSoweto ungomunye wabathandana nabobulili bunye. uTapuwa uke wabhekana nokudlwengulwa izikhathi eziningana.
I think I was yet to turn 7. Skolong opposite my house, and then it's like sort of a game of hide and seek, kind of. And then the other one was chasing us. Then I ran to the nearest house. When I ran there, I ended up in his bedroom, as I remember now. He got on top of me. He did what he did. Then on Paranta, we had that big 1 rand coins then, the big ones, and then I left. I was a kid. I went back to playing and got back home because I couldn't. Sorry, so you swallow it, get on with it.
Okwabanzima kuye kwaba ngukudlwengulwa umuntu ayejwayelene kakhulu naye.
It happens again now, because I would say it's funny, this brother who barsiale na ratswa skolo. How finyana le nna. That day somehow in Tuskilua, and I was still in primary. I remember I had a gym dress on, a black one. We bought our afternoon lunch. After we ate, took me to his bedroom, he did his thing. Half it, hansi kamnya kwa kitchen. Unsa kamnya kwa back door, then room. High. And so this thing happens. Yet again, people I would call a friend, a brother, when in this room that I'm sitting in. I still remember my daughter full a hole in on my. They were test driving their penises on me. still yet to be in higher primary, still. Usually, I think I was lucky during the age of 10. Yeah, after just I turned 9, because now I'm in higher primary, and now they nearly standard 3, grade 5. You know, grade 5 to 7, I think I survived stuff. Nothing happened.
Okubuhlungu nasekhaya babemsola uTapuwa ngale ndaba yokudlwengulwa. Uthi wake wadlwengulwa nangumzala wakhe.
On that day, we had another man friend. Hans abualin, I start, and I'm like, man, when a king go in? And then that guy mentioned something like, king, when I'm like, you, he's my cousin. I don't know how they relate with my mother, but I know the whole thing, they have the same surname. It has to do with my mother. They never explained it to me. And stop touching me. When I'm you know? And I'm like, plus, I think it was the second or towards the third beer, you know. And exactly, I still remember it was the Hansa, you know. Then I went to his house and slept in the grandmother's bedroom. I remember we used to go there. It was you know. I slept, and then when I woke up, he was on top of me. Actually, his mother was staring. You know, he ran off, and I didn't know what to do, how to explain this. You know, it's like I felt like I needed to explain. Like I didn't invite him into my body.
uTapuwa wazithola esenogcobo olube emndenini wakhe engasavunyelwe nokudlalisa nezingane.
And now the questions were like, awamutla jwang? Aludi mahao. Noko betse bo jwang boroko. Wa bona? Yeah. And I seriously went on a slump after that. I went drinking. I don't want to lie, I went drinking, like, you know, and I was like, I've got nothing to lose. Yeah, I tainted somebody's house, as they said in their words, that Mama ngopahlela kamo. I shouldn't be touching children. I've had this with this man. So it became around me. He was gone. I received support, I would say, from organizations like Bopoch. But here's a whole, you know, from Sophia Town Psychological Services. I was alone in this journey. I don't want to lie, I was alone. It's hard when we're alone. And, you know, I would say if you're a rape survivor, you've gone through rape, at least I want to limit it. I think I've always been different, outstandingly so. So I guess it would be whether they could sense I'm a lesbian or not, you know. Rape happens to anyone and everybody.
uKaren ungomunye waba yisisulu sokudlwengulwa amadoda amabili. Uthi wazithola ebhekene nomnzima emva kwaleso sehlakalo.
My story actually, well, my journey started 3 days actually before the rape. I was taking my daughter to school. My car battery was dead, so we decided to walk to school. Beautiful spring day. It'll actually be 6 years ago this September. And her school was not 300-400 meters away from school, so we decided to walk. And later that afternoon, I still hadn't had my car battery fixed, so I went to go and fetch her. And as I was walking, a gentleman walked past me, and I got the shivers. And the next thing, I had an arm around my neck. I was thrown down to the ground, and I had a 30-centimetre knife raised above his head at my throat. And what he wanted was my cell phone, but I could see the malice in his eyes that he meant business. So I threw the cell phone to my feet, and he ran through an open veld. 3 days later, he was in my home with another man. Now, people often say to me, did he follow you home? But he couldn't have, because I'd gotten a lift home from the school. And that day, I hadn't been feeling well, so I was lying on my bed. And the next thing, I heard a door slam. And I just, you know, when you just instinctively know something's not right? And I sat bolt up on my bed. And I don't know what possessed me to walk down my passage, but I did. And there he was. So it was him and another man in my house. And I don't know what possessed me to say it, but I said to myself, you've chosen the wrong person to do this to, because you're not going to get away with it, not even knowing really what was going to transpire. Anyway, they tied me up, and they dragged me around my home for about 2.5 hours, trashing my house. And eventually, when they couldn't find too much of value, I knew what was coming. And I was taken back to my bedroom, where I was thrown onto my bed. And the one guy was on top of me with knives at my throat, and, well, they both took turns invading my body, as I say, but I'll never allow them to invade my soul. And eventually they left. I then obviously went to the police station, and that was where my nightmare began, because it took an hour and a half for a lady to take a half-a-page statement from me. I was in this tiny little room. There were people in and out. There was just like absolutely no concern for what had just happened.
uKaren uthi ngemuva kwamaviki amabili wathola ucingo omunye wabadlwenguli bakhe ubesevalelwa amaphoyisa evenini.
There was a police car and a security van not 300 meters from my house. And the police were at this house. And there were apparently 2 guys in the back of the van. And I said to, it was a lady officer that was there, and I said, please would you mind opening the back of the van? I told her my story, I just want to see. And she kind of went, okay, whatever. And they opened the van, and lo and behold, Manchester was sitting in the van. Well, I went into absolute shock. My whole body was shaking. I couldn't hold a phone, but there he was. I couldn't believe the nonchalant that they were still in the area 2 weeks later.
Ekugcineni umthetho wawenza umsebenzi wawo. Bonke abamnukubeza uKaren baboshwa. Sithola ukuthi kuzo zonke izimo ezishaqisayo athe wadlula kuzo Tapuwa akukho nesisodwa ke wasibika emaphoyiseni.
No. How do I when I'm ukuya emaphoyiseni ke emaponiseng? For me, this is the thing that I thought happened to me. I've never met women like me. And I'm this girl boy. How do I, I'm still dealing with being a girl, being a boy, being stubborn, my person, it's something that even I couldn't even fathom. Because at one point, I think I was in a police car somewhere in Joburg and I got raped by a policeman. So how do I begin?
uKaren noTapuwa bagcina bethola usizo kwinhlangano ebizwa ngeTears Foundation.
It's hard to live with rape. It's a disease nobody wants to speak about, I would say. Tears Foundation, I can see I'm growing with how I am able to unpack the rapes, because I refuse to talk about it like I talk about them now. But through the foundation, I'm able to say words, to put words into the picture.
It's actually empowered me, along with being right with my case from the beginning, to talking about it, to helping other people, was a big part of my journey to healing.
Usixoxela ngencwadi ayibhala. Uqonda ukufundisa abanye abahlukumezeke ngokocansi. Ibafundisa ngezinto abangahle babhekane nazo ngemuva kwaleso sehlakalo esishaqisayo.
It's more of a hand guideline book, or what I would call almost a second Bible in I'd like to see in people's homes. So through my experiences of my journey to getting justice, I put in there things such as what your rights are, for example, at a police station.
uNondumiso Maphazi obamba isikhundla sikahlalo kwinhlangano yokulingana kobulili kuleli phecelezi i-Commission of Gender Equality usichazela kahle ngendima abayidlalayo njengenhlangano elusana nokuhlukunyezwa kwamalungelo abantu ngokuhlukana kwabo ngokobulili.
Umsebenzi wethu siwenza ngenhlobo ezithu. One, sine legal division ku-Commission for Gender Equality. Apho sithi sithatha khona complaints ze community. And apho also sibane legal clinics sifundisa abantu about i-rights zabo. Okwesibini sine division esithi public education. Yona ihamba ifundisa abantu about into ze gender equality, about your rights as a woman and also as a right as society, the LGBTIQ society, the rights of people with who are sex workers in general. But thina alone asizokwazi ukuzigqiba ingxaki ezikhona apha ku-society.
uVuyo Themba ongudokotela wengqondo uyena ozosichazela kabanzi ngezindlela ezihlukahlukene abantu abangahlukumezeka ngazo.
I-rape would affect abantu ngendlela ezihlukene, but also we find esikhathini esiningi it affects ama-relationship akho. So uthola ukuthi the way ugcina relate nabantu ngakhona, you relate ngendlela ethize. So let's say you were raped by umuntu wesilisa, so kuba nokuthi there's a way okuthi ugcina ubona abantu besilisa. So if manje sekumele mina nawe si relate whether as abangani or in a romantic relationship, sekufika lezo zinto zokuthi gana mina abantu besilisa ngibabona kwabantu abanjani. And obviously if ngicabanga ukuthi abantu ukuthi njalo bayahlukumeza njalo bakuzwisa ubuhlungu, obviously before I even engage in any form of friendship or relationship ngizoqala sengizibambile. So I reserve myself, which means when I then have to engage nabantu in relationships, those relationships are no longer as open and as safe. I don't feel safe. It affects sometimes even our physical being if singadili nayo. Uthola ukuthi sometimes we find ukuthi because we experience lobuhlungu sibe experience somehow iqala izibonakalise because we anita sidilanga nayo iqala izibonakalise even in our body where uthola umuntu sesiqala siyagula umuntu agule naye angakhona ukuchaza. They go to the doctor, udoctor bashibheke and they're like, there's nothing physically wrong with you. So yilento sibiza ama-psychosomatic symptoms. It affects even just their emotions. So uthola ukuthi abanye abantu again nje mengishilo ukuthi in how they relate nabantu sebeyasnap. Umuntu unenhliziyo encane, umuntu ukwatile, because not dealing with it doesn't make it go away.
Ungqongqoshe obhekene nezabesifazane nezingane uthi singakwazi ukulwisana nokuhlukunyezwa kwezingane nabesifazane uma sonke singasizana ngokubambana ngezandla.
It starts with women who are not recognized within their communities. I'll make an example. Last week, Thursday, in Rondebelt, Boksburg, a woman was killed. Neighbors were peeping through the windows as she was screaming, being pulled by these criminals out of her own house, being shot at. Before she could be shot at, neighbors were watching through the windows. It was at night. No one called the police, but watching. That's the space which we've got to close in and close ranks in making sure that the first point of call, we have Ubuntu, we can reach out. We don't ask, what has she done? We are able to show sympathy and make sure that we reach out to those women. She's there today, a mother of two, because community, the immediate neighbors, were watching, peeping through the windows. That's the first point of call. Our consciousness, our conscience must speak to us that we are people, and the person where this particular activity is happening is another human being.
I challenge also sinayo ndoba We want to meet with justice and the magistrate courts. Because our view is that if to commit a gender-based violence act, that person must not be given any bail. And secondly, we need to review the sentences of people that are committing gender-based violence so that we increase, because we continue to talk about it, but abantu they continue to commit gender-based violence. We want strict action now. Who is a perpetrator, no matter what position you hold in the society, you must be accountable for that.
Esikhathini esingingake sedlule lo obengusekela kangqongqoshe wezemfundo ephakeme uMduduzi Manana uzithole esodakeni ebhekene nezitolo zokushaya wesifazane kwenye yezindawo zikaqeda isizungu nocima ukoma ube esesule esikhundleni sakhe ngenxa yaleso sehlakalo. Sibe sesibheke emgaqweni ukuyozwa ukuthi amalungu omphakathi wona acabangani ngokuhlukunyezwa kwabesifazane.
People are scared to come out if they are being abused, so hence it becomes continuous, it continues to happen.
You open a case about being abused, and at the end of the day, you are the same person who goes and withdraws that case, meaning that you forget the reason why you went to the police first place, and at the end of the day, the same person will kill you.
Women are not safe enough because I don't know what's happening about men. They have these assumptions about women, and they feel like they have the power in their hands to rule women and to hit women.
Ake sifundise abantu besifazane how to avoid ukuzifaka kwisimo la bezawuhlukumezeka. For instance, once you realize ukuthi le ndoda uhlobo oluhlukumeza, get out of that relationship. The next thing sokubona sowufile bawungahambi.
We need to have a national strategy to deal with gender-based violence as a matter of agency. Okay. We need, as men, as ourselves, to begin to talk to a boy child. We need to talk to ourselves as men and hold ourselves accountable. We cannot dismiss hashtags like men are trash. If some men are rebelling against it, it means it's making a necessary impact in society. Because it cannot be this day and age whereby I see someone, I still keep quiet, and yet I regard myself as a real man in society. We need to speak up as men. We need also to know that every 8 hours, a woman is being killed by intimate partner. We also need to sensitize our police, very much so.
I think we need to understand the anger that is out there that has led to that hashtag, and then we need to harness that anger and turn it to action. No revolution ever started without anger, you know, and women are angry. They are angry.
And scared as well. They're terrified.
Scared, exactly, because of the lack of action. But now what we need to do is see how we can turn that around. The statistic is that 5 in 6 men are not violent. But where are those 5 in 6 men? Imagine for a moment if every 8 hours a man were killed by his intimate partner. Would there not be a state of emergency? Somehow a woman's life in our country is less valuable than that of a man. Until we turn that around, we're not going to get the kind of solutions that we need. Why is it? Look, one thing about femicide is that any death, any birth is reported. So femicide is reported. The police know these things. Why are only 30% of those cases lead to successful convictions when we have all the information at hand? Why is it that the maximum penalties are not being meted out in these cases? We as citizens need to ask those questions and hold our systems accountable, because the simple fact is men are getting away with murder.
Brought to you by SABC News, Africa's news leader.